Hey guys. So, I don't really know how I'm gonna jump into the meat of this conversation because it's a serious topic and I don't want to belittle it or anything, and I just want to be honest and straightforward, to the point, and just do that. Because you see, a lot of the times I feel like I hide behind trying to be funny, but I'm actually kind of a serious person when you're actually talking to me. So regardless, what better way to jump into the meat of the conversation and to tell you something that's quite a meaty topic. Did that even make sense? I don't know. About 3 years ago, my arm already hurts. Oh god, this is not gonna end well. About 3 years ago, a little bit more than that, my dad committed suicide, and I was the one that found him in the garage. It was a very bad experience, traumatic experience, as you may have already surmised. And the only reason I'm like smiling about it is because sometimes it's just easier to brush it off than to be really serious about it. So that happened. This video is not easy to do. It's not easy to keep a straight line of thinking, a straight line of thought on this. Right, take two. This is a hard video to make because it's hard to talk about something like this when there's not a back and forth dialogue going on. But I will try my best to keep the conversation moving. So what happened with that was, I found him like that, and it was, I mean, you wouldn't wish that upon anyone, really. I wouldn't wish that experience upon anyone. Not people I dislike, not people I, quote, hate, because hate is a very strong word. I don't like to use that in terms of people, except maybe like Hitler. But I mean, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And going through that, I mean, my experience was different from the rest of my family members who didn't see that, but nevertheless, we were all definitely affected, and everyone my dad knew, my whole family, my friends, people at like my school who hadn't even given, I mean, like, no one would give my dad a second thought before this happened. I mean, it did affect a lot of people, and that is something that's painful, and it's hard to go through, and I mean, I don't know, I've lost count of like the times that I've just like broken down over it. And what helps the most in terms of going through that when you've been affected by someone else, I think, is just trying to keep a handle on things. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know that I was a strong person until this happened to me, I guess. But I came to kind of find out about myself that I try to be pretty strong, and I mean, that was just helped a lot by my family and friends. So keeping a handle on things, definitely talking to your family friends about it, that does help a lot. Trying to just stay involved with things, and I don't want to say distract yourself, but just, I mean, obviously there's a time for grieving and mourning, and I'm not saying rush that and like pretend like everything's fine. I'm not saying that at all. You should definitely take your time and just go through your own healing process, because everyone's different. But what I am saying is just try to stay involved with things that you were before. You know, just try to keep your life moving, even though obviously it's going to slow down a lot. Things are going to be different, things are going to change. But just focus on the good, and remember, with honor and love, the memories of this person, because that's all you can do. You can just look back on the good times you had, and you can learn from this whole experience. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy at all, because it's not whatsoever. And you're never really done with it either. When I say it's a process, I mean it's a journey. It's never going to be over, you know, but, you know, all relationships must end, whether it's you lose contact with a person, you just kind of end a friendship or a relationship, or if there's a death. You know, all relationships must end, but all you can do in this situation is just remember the positive aspects and remember what you learned from the whole experience. Now that being said, in terms of what advice I would give when, you know, dealing with someone you know who's thinking about suicide, I mean, what do I know? I'm just a person, but it's just my opinion, you know, but I don't know, and I guess you could say that I'm a little bit closer to being in some kind of authority on the matter because I was affected by it before, but I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm just a person who has experienced this, and I can just offer what I have to say. But I mean, if you like have a friend that you think might be going through something like this and having these feelings and having these thoughts that, you know, aren't going to lead to something good, then I think the first step that you have to do is just simply ask, are you okay? And just give them that chance to answer you back honestly. And chances are they're not going to at first, but you might have to be persistent, and you might have to ask them again and again. But if you think that they have a problem and like you really care about them and you want to help them through it, then that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to be kind of just there for them, and that's gonna take a long time to help them through it, and there's not any magical cure, you know. You just have to be there for them. So I mean, you can definitely just ask, are they okay? You can try to encourage them to get professional help, because I mean, as much as you want to help them, you are just their friend, you are just their sibling, just their spouse, I guess, but you aren't responsible for that decision when it comes down to it. If someone has that in their head and they're committed to it and they're going to do that, then there's nothing really that you can do to stop it. You can try, but, you know, I learned long ago that you can't hold yourself responsible for it because, I mean, it's up to them in the end. It's up to them. They're going to make the final decision. You can try to have influenced them, but I mean, it's really up to them. And that's not to say that I don't know if I ever really felt responsible for my dad. I don't think I ever really blamed myself, because I think a part of me always maybe knew that that was going to happen to him. And I know that's really sad to think about, that I kind of like, I don't know, was thinking that about him, but I don't know. And the other thing I would recommend is just helping them to stay involved with the things they love, keep a positive influence in their life, and help them to help themselves. You know, I mean, with me, I've been depressed before, and it's not a good feeling, and it doesn't go away easily by any means, and it takes a long time to get through that. But what I can say about that is just having people who care about you, whether it's one person or it's a few people, that doesn't matter. As long as you have, some light ahead, some positive influence, and you can see like a glimmer of hope, that's enough, I mean, this is like a human life we're talking about here, and that's something that's important and something that should be valued. So you want to hold on to that. But definitely just try to stay active. Keep in touch with doing the things you love. For me, it's photography, sometimes posting videos on YouTube, and keeping up my friendships. I don't know, I don't think I make friends very easily, but the friends that I do have, I value them a lot. And I don't know, I would want to keep them in my life, So just focus on things that make them happy, things that make you happy. And I don't know. I think what my advice is kind of just steps to feeling a little bit better. I'm not saying it's going to help a ton. I'm not going to say it's going to cure anything at all. But I think what it is just a long stretch of time that you have to work on yourself, and you have to feel a little bit better one day at a time. And I think if you really try, and if you really work at that, and you kind of mentally commit, then you can get a little bit closer. And the last thing that I would say is to keep in mind that you can always pray. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm Catholic, and I value my faith a lot. And I can think of a few times, like a few times when I've really just felt terrible. Just like absolutely, I want to die, terrible. And that's like a serious thing to be thinking. But honestly, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making this up. I'm not lying at all. But I went from that state, and then I really, really prayed, and I really thought about the good things in my life, and I really thought about the friends that I had, and I really thought about reasons to live, and I really thought about that. And honestly, I went from feeling that to feeling completely overjoyed and thankful and happy in a matter of like 20 minutes. And it went from the point where I was sobbing because I was so sad to I was sobbing because I was so happy. And I think that's really, really powerful. I don't know how often you get to experience that. That's like something that's happened to me a few times, and that's been really powerful. That's kind of some of the reason why I want to keep my faith, So I think prayer and faith can be really powerful, if that's something that you value. But I mean, all I can say is I'm just a person, and this is like the small bit of advice that I have to offer. So you can listen if you want. Just try, Just try, if you're in that state, to get help, because if one person asks if you're okay, they really care about you, and they don't want anything bad to happen to you. So really try to get help with, a doctor or therapist. But yeah, that's all I can say. Anyway, I know this was like a really heavy topic, and I hope you guys just gave it a listen for future reference, or for right now. And of course my memory card expires right then and there. Or not expires, but fills up. Anywho, I hope you guys like this video. expect a few more videos from me soon enough. I'll try to post them. I want to end this on a happy note, so I'll just tell you guys. I hope you guys had a happy new year, and I don't know, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Can you please just appreciate right now the shape of my hair? That's all.